Ever feel like you're completely lost when it comes to getting your website out there?
Hmm.
You know, like you're putting in the work, making good content, but nobody's seeing it.
It's a common problem.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like trying to navigate the internet with like a faulty compass or something.
Yeah.
You'll get there eventually, but
It's a struggle.
it's a real struggle. So today we're going to try to fix that compass, so to speak. We're diving into a sales page that promises to reveal all the secrets to driving traffic to your website.
Sounds interesting.
It does, doesn't it? Now, full disclaimer, we're not endorsing this product. That's not what we do here. Instead, we're going to take it apart, see what they're claiming, and more importantly, what we can learn from it.
I like it sort of reverse engineering a magic trick.
Exactly. So this sales page we're dissecting, it's big on promises, which, let's be honest, most sales pages are.
Right.
This one's talking about simple, free strategies to get more people clicking on your website. And they say these strategies will work whether you've been doing this for 5 minutes or 5 years.
Okay.
And get this, they even claim to have the keys to both immediate and long-term results.
That's a big claim.
It is a big claim. So the question is, are they for real, or is this all smoke and mirrors? What do you think?
Well, it's definitely smart marketing. Tapping into that desire for a quick fix, right?
Definitely.
But they do touch on a fundamental truth. With website traffic, it's not about finding that one magic solution. It's about building a strategy.
So it's more like you need a whole toolkit.
Exactly. You need a mix of tactics that'll give you those quick wins, but also build sustainable long-term growth.
Okay, I like that. So kind of like building a balanced investment portfolio. You want some short-term gains, but you also want those long-term investments for steady growth.
Spot on. And just like with investments, diversification is key.
Makes sense.
Different approaches work for different goals, and understanding that is crucial if you want to build a winning strategy for your website traffic.
So are we ready to dive into those tactics?
Let's do it.
All right. This sales page is certainly creative with its wording, but they do get into some specifics. So this sales page, they keep mentioning these share triggers. Sounds kind of gimmicky, like a magic button for viral content,
There is a bit of psychology to it. Think about it. When was the last time you shared something online, like an article or even just a meme? Why'd you do it?
Because it was funny. Or because I thought, hey, someone else needs to see this.
Exactly. There was an emotion there, right? Amusement, surprise, maybe even a bit of outrage.
So these shared triggers, they're all about tapping into that.
That's the idea. Good ones, anyway.
So how do you make one? The sales page wasn't exactly clear on that.
It's not about clickbait headlines or anything like that. Those get old fast.
Yeah, no more you won't believe what happened next kind of stuff.
Exactly. It has to be genuine. Content people actually want to share because it's, well, good.
So no more cat videos with misleading titles then?
Well, let's not rule out cat videos entirely. The point is, it's got to be engaging on its own merit, not just because of a catchy headline. Think about incorporating things like humor, interesting stats, maybe even a little controversy.
Speaking of controversy, they did mention using outrageous content to get attention. They even said it could be a game changer. Should we be worried?
Outrageous is a strong word. It's definitely not for every brand. But the principle there is about standing out, which is important.
Right, because the internet's a crowded place.
Exactly. But there's a fine line between grabbing attention and being obnoxious. How do you avoid crossing it? Any thoughts?
I'd imagine it's about knowing your audience, right? What flies with one group might completely turn off another.
Exactly. You've got to know your brand and who you're trying to reach. And of course, never compromise your values just for a few extra clicks.
It's like that old saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity. But online? Oh, yeah, there definitely is.
Right. You want attention for the right reasons because you've got something valuable to offer, not because you're being edgy just for the sake of it.
Makes sense. Now let's move on from the potentially controversial to something a bit more fundamental, mobile-friendly design. The sales page hammered that point home, and I don't think anyone would disagree.
It's not even a question anymore. Think about it. How often are you on your phone browsing the web?
Pretty much constantly.
Right. And if a website isn't designed for your phone, slow loading, tiny text, awkward navigation, what do?
I'm gone. I'll find a site that's easier to use.
Exactly. These days, if your website isn't mobile friendly, it's like you don't even exist.
And it's not just people, right? Search engines care about this too.
Huge factor in rankings. Google, for example, if your site's a pain to use on a phone, you're going to be much harder to find.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
Don't want that. So mobile optimization, non-negotiable. What about this old school keyword research they mentioned? I thought that was a thing of the past.
Some things never go out of style. They just, evolve.
So it's not about stuffing keywords into your content anymore. Please tell me those days are gone.
Oh, they're long gone. These days, it's about understanding user intent. What are people actually looking for when they type in a certain phrase? What questions do they have? What problems are they trying to solve?
Okay, so you need to know your audience.
Yes, but also how they use search engines. Once you get that, then you can create content that really resonates and ranks well because it's actually helpful.
So it's about aligning your content with what people are actually searching for.
Precisely. And that requires a good understanding of your audience, their needs, and how they use search engines to find information.
I'm starting to see why this sales page, even if it's a little over the top at times, might actually have some good advice buried in there.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype of the latest and greatest traffic driving tricks.
For sure.
Yeah.
Everyone. Ooh, now that one caught my ear. Sounds a little sneaky, though, doesn't it?
Not really. It's not about stealing ideas or anything shady like that. It's more about, well, research, seeing what's working for others, and learning from them.
So more like competitive analysis than actual espionage.
Exactly. Think of it like, you're going to a party.
Okay.
You want to make sure you're dressed right. So you might ask a friend who's been to that kind of party before what people usually wear.
So you don't show up in a tuxedo to a backyard barbecue.
Exactly. In this case, your website is your outfit. And those competitors, they're the friends who can give you some fashion advice, check out what they're doing well, like which social media platforms are they using, what kind of content are they posting.
I get it. I get it. So you're saying it's about using what's already out there to your advantage.
Exactly. And there are plenty of tools and resources that can help you do this the right way. You can see what keywords they're using, maybe even get a sense of their advertising strategy.
Like having a backstage pass to like their marketing playbook or something.
Exact. Now, another thing they touched on was video marketing, which is, well,
Kind of a no-brainer these days, right?
right. But it's not just about making videos. It's about making sure people actually see them.
That's true. It's a jungle out there. How do you stand out?
Well, one often overlooked area is the video description.
You mean that little text blurb below the video? I'll be honest, I don't always read those.
And that's a mistake a lot of people make. That little box is valuable real estate. You can use it to give more context, reinforce your message, even guide people to your website.
Oh, so it's not just for summarizing what the video's about.
Think of it as like an extension of the video itself. You can add links, keywords, even calls to action.
Like subtitles for search engines. They can't watch the video, but they can read that description.
Exactly. A well-crafted description can make a big difference in driving traffic from your video back to your site.
Great tip. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier about online marketing always changing.
It's true. What works today might not work tomorrow, which is why it's so important to stay curious and be willing to adapt.
So basically, always be ready to change course if something's not working.
Exactly. Never stop learning, experimenting, and most importantly, let the data guide you.
Data-driven decisions. I like the sound of that.
But also don't forget the human element.
Right. At the end of the day, we're trying to reach actual people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Building a connection, providing value. If you can do that, you'll attract the right kind of attention.
Great advice. Well, on that note, we'll let our listeners go ponder all these golden nuggets of wisdom.
Until next time.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been enlightening, to say the least. Remember, building website traffic takes time and effort. There's no magic button, unfortunately. But with the right strategies and a willingness to adapt, you can absolutely get your website seen by the right people. Until next time, happy marketing.